this space. Look at all this space. Come on. Come on. We got to go. So how you feeling after all of this stuff? Are you annoyed? Are you happy?
I'm happy. I'm happy. Don't get me wrong, because we get to spend together time like every day, and so like I really enjoy that, because our life is so busy that sometimes we don't like have a lot of time for each other. But at the same time, I'm like, well, what's the point of us just being here? We can't go out, we can't go anywhere, like we can't do nothing. So
except for right now, we're going out right now.
Because we have to get groceries, so pray for us that we're safe, and then we come back safe.
Alright guys, we are heading to the grocery store. We're gonna get some snacks. Snacks! Ew, that was ugly. Shut up. When we get back, we're gonna be wiring up the car, and yeah, sorry, we kind of just got up, so we look a little tired. Anyway, kind of happy that I could just be putting on work on the YouTube channel and stuff, so it's pretty cool. When we get back, we're gonna be wiring up the car, finally. I've been saying that for like 4 days, but
that's finally gonna happen.
Yeah, we're gonna wire it up today, and then hopefully work on getting it nice and clean. Once it's wired though, like that's gonna be the biggest portion of this whole project. You excited? So, depending on how far we get today, we'll determine if we get started up or not. But it's a high probability. So yesterday, this one was really mad at me that I didn't paint the engine bay before.
I didn't know, like, I guess I don't know. I didn't think about that you could do that, but I should have just done that. You know?
Yeah. Well, I didn't do it because you know, just trying to get it running and movable, because it is about, well, we don't know right now, but it is race season about to start, so that was the whole idea. I was like, all right, get this thing movable so I could get the GTO in there and really work on the GTO, get it ready for the race season. So that was my idea. Now that all of this happened, you know, things kind of changed, so we're kind of going with the flow now. Alright guys, we got our swap harness. Yes, I just had to step under the engine hoist. Our swap harness here is from BP Automotive. This is the harness I used on the GMW, and I am reusing here on the Z32 300Zx. And as promised, today I was planning on wiring up this car, or at least getting the main ignition harness, fuel pump prime, the check engine light, a couple other things wired up, which is this small piece of wiring, which is really, really nice. So this is all I need to wire to get this whole engine to run and to tie into this car. So that is a whole total of 5 wires, which is awesome. Now the wiring is not the hard part. The hard part about this whole thing is actually, where do I want to mount the ECU, if I want to go through the firewall, and just how I want to go about getting the ECU mounted to the chassis, and how I want to mount everything, because there's a few things in my way still at the moment that need to get addressed. Now the wife is having a bit of a lazy day, so she did not want to help me today, and I'm out here alone once again. But it's all good. We got a lot of stuff to get done. It's really not even that much, to be honest. Once I kind of figure out where I want it to go, everything's a plug and play. You could literally wire in the whole car, or the whole engine, in a matter of like 20 minutes. So it's just kind of figuring out where I want to put everything. Now the old wiring harness went through this hole right here. Oh, let me move this. This is all in my way. So the old wiring harness goes through that hole right there. But the problem with how this hole is set up is my connectors are a bit bigger than what the factory ones were. So now I have to fit 2 through there versus just the single one that they had. So that is the first issue. Then second issue is, if I wire it like I had, like the old ECU, the old ECU sits down in here, and then you have this little wood plate to cover it up, which is a great idea, but I don't necessarily have a good spot to mount over these guys or up in here. So that is the key issue right now. Alright guys, let me give you a quick update on what is going on. So far I kind of have an idea of how I want the engine wired. So I went ahead and plugged in pretty much most of my harness just to kind of map out how I want it to work. So this is how it's going to sit. Pretty much standard LS stuff. So yeah, as you guys can see, everything tucks away really nice. Here's the dilemma right now, is mounting all of this stuff. All of this is extra wire just in case I want to go through the firewall, which I decided against for now. This may change in the future, but with the Z32 they usually mount the battery right here. So for me, what I am going to do is actually mount the battery in the trunk and do a battery relocation for the trunk. And then I would like to pretty much stash all of these wires under here and then have my ECU mounted on top. So everything engine wise is all up here and it's very, very accessible. Now, as for my ignition stuff, my first set of wires is going through the original grommet hole that the Z32 has. And then also, let me show you on the inside. So I have my connector, my OBD2 connector in here as well. And then here are the ignition, all the ignition wires. So what I'm gonna do is run these. I'm pretty much gonna have to get some wires to extend and run these over into the driver's side to where I could wire them up. And that will pretty much be it for wiring, but so we pretty much got it figured out. So yeah. This actually was very, very simple. So yeah, now I'm gonna worry on tying everything back. So this gives me a lot of room for pretty much everything. Next on the agenda would be to run my heater lines. And I'm thinking, I'm not 100% on this, but I'm thinking on running them up and pretty much from there around here to the back here. And then, you know, all of these wires will be buried under here, nice and tied back, and then I will have the ECU right up on top. ECU sits here, everything, it would pretty much be everything as a factory setup. Just about factory setup. Can you even tell I wired it? Somewhat? No. Okay, so let me give you the rundown. So these are all wired in here. Sorry, this is all wired in here. They have this plate here. I'm actually going to take this excess wiring and put it under this plate. Make little brackets.
So you're going to put the battery in the back?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm going to make a little access plate. So this guy will go here. I'm going to make a bracket for it. The wires are going to go under that plate so you don't see any of them. And the other portion I already ran inside the car. I just have to wire them up to the car. So.
So we can do that tomorrow?
Yep, we'll do that in the morning.
Okay.
You guys like this road?
Stop! I was inside, just took a shower, so. Sorry guys.
But yeah, so we'll be, as for wiring, we'll be real close tomorrow. Still gotta do the drive shaft, the oil filter, what is it? The remote oil filter and lines. Let's see. There's a bunch to do still. A ton to do.
Yeah.
Exhaust. I still got to bolt in all the exhaust, do all the cat back and figure out what we want to do, clean up these wheels. Try to at least clean up the paint for now until after the virus is cleared up. Then we'll figure out what we want to do for color. But yeah, I figured out the radiator, but still have to figure that out. So there's still quite a bit to do.
Yeah, for sure. Alright, well it looks good so far. I'm excited. We can start it soon.
Yeah, we're close. The bulk of the work is done. It's just this is how it goes. Pretty much 80% of the project goes really fast and the last 20 goes slow.
Yeah. I remember with the Beamer.
Yeah, I got real quick and then like doing all the little stuff, it takes some time.
Yeah. It looks good, baby. Congrats. It looks really good.
Begging for your life 'cause that's a lost cause. High stakes, body armor, suicide, boy. It's the time for games and it's the time to kill. Make up your mind, baby, 'cause the time is here.